Let me ask you this, Congressman, and I don't hold you responsible for this, but I will tell you: do you get the same feedback that I'm getting, that there is great frustration among your conservative base as it relates to the direction of the Republican Party?
I do. I pick it up in my district, and I pick it up in all the other districts that I visit.
And what is that telling you? And didn't we see this coming in 2006? And do you think that the Republican Party has made enough in terms of adjustments and positioning to counter the feelings of their base?
I don't think so yet. This farm bill is a good example. A lot of our members understand the challenge that we face, that we've got to get back to our core principles as a party. Listen, Sean, I grew up in Cincinnati. I've got 11 brothers and sisters, and my dad owned a bar. If it weren't for Ronald Reagan, hell, I might still be a Democrat. But it was Ronald Reagan and the fact that I was a small business guy that helped me understand that I wasn't a Democrat. Although I grew up in a Democrat household, that I was a Republican. And I got involved in this party and got involved in elective office to uphold the principles that Americans believe in. Ronald Reagan enunciated those principles very well. And my job as a Republican leader is to help move our party in the direction of upholding the principles of Ronald Reagan.
You see, I almost sense that Republicanism is headed for defeat, and it's a potential for catastrophic defeat. I think these three elections, I don't care any way you want to spin it, weak candidates, and I've heard every excuse imaginable, but I think this ought to be a huge wake-up call for the Republican Party. And one of the things, and you tell me if I'm wrong, and if I'm out of line, you put me in my place, Congressman, but I think one of the things that's missing here is the vision, an inspiring vision for the future. And what I put up my top 10 items. I call it Hannity's Top 10 Items for Victory on my website, Hannity.com. And I'll run through.
I've read them. I strongly support them. Every single one of them.
Well, then,
and frankly, a lot of it looks like the agenda that we've begun to roll out.
Now, I went and I looked up. I did read a lot of your stuff on energy independence today, and I read a lot of the things you put out. And I see a lot of similarities in some of the things you said. Here's my question then. And the top 10 items are there to be the party of national security, the party that opposes appeasement, which Barack is supporting, the party of tax cuts and fiscal responsibility, the party that pledges to eliminate earmarks, the party of energy independence, the party that will secure our borders, on and on. So the top 10 items.
Listen, 99% of that, 99% of Hannity's top 10 items for victory, is supported by the Republicans in the House of Representatives.
Well,
99% of them.
Then why did half the Republicans vote for all this spending then today?
Well, listen, it's a farm bill. You got a lot of members from rural districts.
No, but doesn't that sound like a political excuse to you?
No. I'm just telling you the truth. You just take the issue of earmarks. I've never done an earmark since I've been in Congress. I've never asked for one.
I know you have.
I've worked hard to try to get rid of earmarks.
I know you have.
I've not succeeded yet, but let me tell you what. I'm going to keep fighting to get rid of earmarks.
But here's the problem. If I'm right that the Republican Party, I mean, there was one report on the Politico that there's a possibility that Nancy Pelosi could end up after this election with a 70-seat majority, for crying out loud. And if there's a chance in the Senate that Harry Reid hits the magic number of 60, this is a disaster for this country as far as I'm concerned.
It would be a disaster.
So let me ask you this. Why don't the Republicans hold an emergency meeting? Why don't you don't have to take the Hannity top 10 items. Why don't you come up with 10 items, put it down on paper, have every Republican caucus member sign it, and go out there, campaign on 10 simple promises to the American people?
What we're doing is we're putting out an agenda of about five big issue areas.
And what are they?
From health care, energy, economy, and the security. We believe that we ought to put doctors and our patients back in charge of health care, not trial lawyers and bureaucrats. On the economy, we want lower taxes. We want real earmark and entitlement reform, less wasteful spending, to encourage more economic growth.
Why can't the Republicans sign a pledge, every one of you, that you will not vote for any bill with earmarks, and go to the Capitol Hill steps and force the media in this country to cover your promise that you're going to eliminate wasteful spending? Why not do that?
If I could get all my members to agree to eliminate earmarks, we'd already have it done.
They won't do it.
But we challenged Pelosi to join us in a moratorium. She refused. There's no way for us in the minority to implement it on our own.
What is there? But I'm not worried about what Nancy Pelosi does. I'm just wondering. I want to see the Republicans be united on very simple, basic Reagan conservative principles.
I do too.
And you've never taken an earmark in your life. And by the way, God bless you for not doing it. You know, honestly, I don't think there's anybody. I don't think there's 3 other members of Congress that are able to say that.
No, I think there's only one. Maybe John McCain.
And Senator McCain, to his credit, has promised that he would eliminate earmarks. But you know, I guess, Mike, I feel a concern here, and I don't see a sense of urgency or a plan that is emerging. Now, the Politico reported that both you and Tom Cole were going to unveil these changes and a new positioning of the party for the elections. What is that?
Listen, we've had, I think, some challenges over there. There's really no secret that Tom and I have had our share of disagreements about the direction. But I support Tom Cole, and frankly, there's times when we ought to get involved in primaries. And I think he recognizes that, as do I. I think that when it comes to this election, making sure that our incumbents are prepared for the storm that they're going to enter is something that we need to refocus our energy on helping to protect these members. I think we ought to understand clearly what happened in the 3 special elections that you referred to. We ought to understand what really happened out there. That's why we're going to put an audit in place, and over the next couple of weeks, really get an honest assessment of what happened so that we can use that information to better prepare us for the fall.
Congressman, I'm going to tell you, and I speak this from my heart, that I think this is an indicator of things to come, and I am very concerned, especially based on where Senator Obama and Senator Clinton would want to take the country, that this is going to be a disaster, that America is going to be radically changed, that will destroy our health care system, will increase taxes dramatically on the American people, we won't have secure borders, all the issues that I care about, and I put down in these Hannity top 10. By the way, how did you look at the Hannity top 10 items? Who told you about them?
I heard about them from my staff, if you want to know the truth. I don't have time to sit around and listen to the radio.
What do you mean you don't have time? My show's on 3 hours a day. There's nothing more important in life than to listen.
I see you at night, and I see you on Sunday nights with Hannity's America.
Well, I'm only teasing. This is too important. But look, I don't have the perfect answer, and I'm not saying I do. But what's bothering me is you're telling me that there is too many in your caucus that are unwilling to stand on these basic Reagan conservative principles. And
I'm telling you that they're willing to stand on 99% of them. Now, whether you draw up the list or I could draw up the list, all right? If I get 99% of them, that's as good as I'm going to get. And let me tell you what, on 99% of your top 10 items for victory, our members are there.
99%.
99% of them.
But they're not. But they're against eliminating and voting against all earmarks.
They are.
What other things are they against? Do they support drilling in Anwar? Do they support building nuclear facilities?
Almost all of them do. Not all of them, but almost all of them.
Building.
You go down through all of your issues. I'm telling you what, our members are in agreement with this, and each and every day.
Then why don't we put it on?
You'd be each and every day. We're up there fighting for these same principles.
All right, then why not put it on paper? Because then there must be a PR problem. Then why not put it on paper? And if they agree on 99% of them, why don't they come up with a contract with America, put it on one piece of paper, every Republican member sign it, and say in the first 100 days, if you give us power back, we're going to vote on these items?
Sean, I helped write the contract with America in 1994. I helped to come up with the idea of nationalizing the election in 1994. I don't know that is the right strategy for this election.
And what is the strategy? You tell me.
I think the right strategy is to arm our members with these same principles, these same kind of issues, and allow them to go home and win their elections in their districts.
Well, it didn't work too well in Illinois, didn't work too well in Mississippi, and it didn't work too well in Louisiana, did it?
I'm not sure that the candidates that we had were following these principles.
Well, Dennis Hastert was handpicked by Dennis Hastert's guy was handpicked by him. I mean, in the case of Mississippi, what was wrong with the candidate in Mississippi?
Listen, a lot of reasons that we lost those races. You know them as well as I do. We had a geography issue in several of these. But listen, what we've got to do is to energize our voters. And frankly, I understand the environment that's out there. The right track, wrong track numbers are way out of whack. But we've got to prove to the Americans that we are agents of change. that we learned our lesson from the 2006
well, how are you
election.
going to do that if you're saying that they should run it as individuals, not that you don't think it's a good idea to sign a Hannity top 10 item or a contract? Then how are you going to unite on and show people that you're going to get these things accomplished?